back to The Winning Side on Ion Sports Network, brought to you by Open Mortgage, making your retirement dreams possible. If you would like to do that, you got to talk to our buddy David Napier. He can hook you up with all of that. Let's talk about winning. After all, it is the winning side. Vince, let's talk about the Rams. The Rams are Monday Night Football this week against the 49ers, and then they've got the Cowboys coming to town. I don't know what I think about those Rams right now. The jury's out. What do you think as they move into this part of the schedule?
Well, Liz, we're going to find out a lot tonight with this game against the 49ers. The 49ers really pretty much have the Rams number. Jimmy Garoppolo's won 3 in a row against the Rams, and they've always seemed to go toe-to-toe with this team and bring it to the Rams and shut them down. So they're very capable of doing that, especially with Jimmy there. But I have some doubts as if they can keep this steamroller going for this 49er team with Kyle Shanahan, simply because Jimmy gave his resignation in the springtime. He was gone. He was telling everybody on the team, I'm gone from this team. And they bring him back after Trey Lance gets hurt, and they get him back in the lineup. They win the first game. They lose last week, but they've got a ways to go. I think the Rams probably still may have an upper edge tonight. But next week is going to be a tough game against Dallas because this guy Cooper Rush is playing some football.
He really is.
This guy can play.
But Ryan, I'm listening to Vince here, my old teammate, and he failed to look at some of the key elements of this particular matchup. Like, for example.
Like the offensive line?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The highest paid left tackle in all of pro football.
Yeah, he was hurt last week, Jack. He got hurt.
And I don't think he's playing tonight.
Okay.
And they lost the left guard, Laken Tomlinson, to the Jets, who's one of the highest paid guards.
So now they're really depleted.
So they're going to have 2 new offensive linemen on the left side over there, and they got to deal with Aaron Donald, and they got to deal with Floyd. I mean, this is going to be a very and then the quarterback. The quarterback wasn't, and like you said, he just came from hiatus. This guy wasn't expecting to play.
No.
The quarterback is not in sync. He hadn't been there the whole time. Those 2 guys, to me, right there, those 3 guys right there is enough reason not to expect the 49ers to win the game.
I mean, it's tough. Continuity is tough when you're playing musical chairs with offensive linemen.
Absolutely.
That's for dang sure. But hopefully, if you have a staff that can continue to, develop guys and keep them in there and not, pull the ripcord too quick and start moving other pieces in, I think that's where you get in trouble. So, for them, I think the biggest thing is just sticking with the guys that they think can do the job and giving them more game time experience is so invaluable.
Unbelievably valuable.
Well, the team I was impressed with this week, though, Liz, is the Chargers.
All right, we'll see where they go.
Yeah. I was really happy to see the Chargers bounce back.
I know you were impressed with the Chargers, Vince.
Yeah, I think Brandon Staley did a great job.
Well,
he said
gave
something.
It away.
Well, we all know why Vince is always enamored with the Chargers. It's because of the quarterback.
Well, that's true, too.
Vince loves the quarterback.
Who's not enamored by that guy?
Everybody's enamored with the quarterback. He is tough. He showed me a lot, Vince, coming back from that rib cartilage problem. Mm-hmm. He is really, really tough. But there's another guy, Rashawn Slater. They're all-pro left tackle, young guy who's out for the season. And then they went and got this young man. We were looking up his name. How did you pronounce his last name?
Which guy?
The left tackle.
Left tackle for the Chargers.
The left tackle for the Chargers.
Oh, I don't know. That was on you. That was on you. I'm not getting paid to do your job, Jackie. I only watch the center. I told you about
whoever he is.
My guy Ford.
Whoever he is, he stepped up in a big way, though, didn't he, Jackie?
Jameer is
his name. You got all these notes. Look
Too many notes.
You got all these notes.
Too many notes. There's his name is right there. His name is Jameer Sawyer. Jameer Sawyer. Now he's 6. Vince. He was He was 195th overall pick, right? 195th overall pick out of Georgia. He's 6'5", he weighs 335 pounds, and he started his first NFL game last week, and he shut the defensive end down.
Well, a lot of that's coaching too, Jack.
He was blowing holes open. Did you see it? Did you watch the game?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man, he was knocking guys off the ball 5-6 yards off the ball every single time. This guy is special. So I had to take my hat off to Tom Telesco and his staff for the kind of draft and the acquisitions that they've been making. You just look all along Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett was the first pick of in the Sean McVay era. The first draft pick that Sean McVay ever made as a Ram coach is now catching footballs left and right over there with him. Tom Telesco saw this guy's a talent too. He brings him right in there. J.C. Jackson brought him right in there. The center, Lindsey, you don't like him that much, though, do you?
Corey Lindsey, that's
Yes.
my guy.
He likes him.
No.
You didn't say that earlier.
No, we weren't talking about that. We were talking about older guys like us getting jealous of these new contracts.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay,
so
okay,
no,
okay.
I don't like him because of the money he's making, and I'm jealous of it. No, Corey's great. I love Corey, and I got to talk to Corey earlier this year, and you know, you talk about the quarterback. Those guys love him. I mean, they say
he's awesome.
They said his work ethic is so incredible, and they
Yes.
said the guys really respond well to him. And I mean, you know, people take that for granted, but that's a big deal, especially for offensive linemen.
Oh, it's huge.
There's
It's
two
huge.
quarterbacks in the league, in my estimation, that can turn nothing into something. It's Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. There is nothing. Most
What about
quarterbacks
Patrick
would just.
Mahomes?
Well,
What?
Patrick Mahomes
What?
can too. Yeah, okay. Well, that's true too, Liz.
Crazy.
But I mean, these
Okay,
two
okay.
guys are immune to the pass rush. They'll stand in there. They'll take it head on. And if they get close, they'll just make something out of nothing. And you say, "Oh, the play's over," and it still goes. Yeah, Mahomes is pretty special with that as well.
What
But
about Lamar?
Lamar Jackson, yeah.
There's a handful
Lamar
of guys.
Jackson.
Yeah, I mean there are some, but I mean as far as the total quarterback perspective, as far as reading defenses, throwing the ball, timing, running the football when you have to run, making the play when it counts. I mean, these guys are at the top of the list. And so,
Yeah,
but,
Justin
I
Herbert,
really
you've
like
lost
the
since day
Chargers. I
one.
think their defense played great too this week. You know, without Joey Bosa,
Austin
I think
Eckler,
they
by the
picked it
way.
up. Oh, Austin Eckler. You know, we've always talked about him.
Hey,
I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah,
Pound
but wait a
for
second,
pound,
Jackie.
the toughest guy in football.
Jamari. Oh yeah, Austin Eckler's something else, isn't he? Pound for pound. That's a good way to put him. Hey, Jackie, Jamari Saylor. He's out of Georgia, right? He's out of that great team. He comes off that
Yes.
great team out of Georgia. That's who you're talking about. And those are big words. I hope that kid hears that you just said that.
Oh, he's
Because you
special.
are impressed with the kid that young coming in. Yes.
Yes, he is
Yeah,
special.
Jamari's very
they
young.
didn't miss a beat.
Jamari
They didn't miss
Saylor.
a beat.
You know, and Brandon Staley,
Yeah,
though,
that-
Jackie, said something in the week which impressed me as a player. He said, look, what we're doing is correct. Just stay the course. But when we call a play, I'm going to put an exclamation mark behind the play. So if we call 22 blast with an exclamation mark, make it work. Just go make it work. And that's all. It's basically what they did this week, Jackie. They felt solid. They were solid in all aspects of the game. I mean, balance between running and throwing the football. I mean, it was pretty impressive.
Are they
He's
the
got
sleeper,
buy-in with
Vince?
the team. There's no doubt about
What's that, Liz?
Are they the sleep? I mean, listen, Vince. Vince, Jackie, and bring Ryan in. Let's talk about the team. We're going to be talking about these teams. We're going to talk about the Bills. We're going to be talking about the Chiefs. We're going to talk about the Bills. We're going to talk about the Chiefs. And who else are we really going to
Bills,
talk about
Chiefs.
when it comes right down? Who's going to make it to the Super Bowl? Because are the Chargers the sleeper in that one? Could the Chargers get past the Chiefs? Could that happen?
They can do exactly what Cincinnati did last year, Liz. And you know, the AFC North, the AFC West are probably the two toughest divisions in football right now. They're both stacked, and they're both like beating each other up. So, I mean, these two divisions, any team can emerge out of those two teams and be in the Super Bowl, as far as I'm concerned.
You know, a year ago we thought the NFC West was
Yeah.
the most powerful.
I don't think so.
Division, but you know, I still think the Rams they're going to have to be reckoned with. They have a really good quarterback, and a lot of people think they have the best wide receiver in all of pro football, the best defensive lineman in all of the best inside pressure in all of pro football.
For sure.
So it's going to, and some of the best cover guys in all of pro football. I think the Rams are positioned nicely to compete and try to get back to the Super Bowl and perhaps win it.
But Jackie, is it an
that
individual
right?
talent that's going
Oh,
to get
yeah.
you to the Super Bowl, or is it team concept? Is it a team? What has the best overall team?
Well,
Offense, defense, and special teams. And how do they gel? Do they play for each other? Do they play with that
And
conviction that they're going to make something
I know,
happen?
Vince, why you are questioning that at this particular time, and it has a lot to do with what Buffalo did to them in the opener. I mean, Buffalo just made them look like a bunch of chumps.
an average team.
They just came in and just rolled right over them. I mean, their very best players were getting taken advantage of. But I think that over the season, as you got to remember, these first 3 weeks, this first month of the regular season is almost like preseason.
Yeah.
It takes these guys because nobody's
Ask Ryan, did he play in preseason?
Nobody's
Ask him
playing.
in
He
his
played
era.
all the time in the preseason, didn't you?
It's different now. You're not wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we're we're getting ready for these 18 games, so they're starting to par back a lot of the preseason stuff, and everything's all about rest. But I don't know, Jackie and I were talking about it. I think there's a balance to it where you can rest guys but still give them the reps they need to sort of build a callus and get experience, especially when you got young guys in certain position groups. You got to give them, you just got to give them more reps. You got to give them more looks and plays. Let them fail early so you can get rolling once the season
starts. And you
starts.
tell me, what do you think those two position groups are that has to get the reps?
Offensive line is definitely one of them.
Number one. That's number one in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what about the secondary?
Secondary. The two hardest positions, I think, in all pro football are left tackle and cornerback. I think those are pretty challenging positions
Absolutely.
to get thrown in there.
Absolutely.
It takes a lot of repetition.
It does.
And beside the quarterback, the two highest paid, right? Beside back, the line. And I know you all are jealous. I know it's a different time.
She said that the quarterback is the highest paid. Well, Liz, I'm going to tell you something. No. It took me, I was in the National Football League for about 7 years before I conceded the fact that a quarterback was more valuable to a team than I was.
just so we're clear, I didn't say quarterback, I said cornerback.
Oh, you said corner.
I said cornerback.
Yeah, I know what
I heard you right. And I agree with that. I agree with that. But Liz, she mentioned the quarterback being the highest paid. And that's why I brought that up about the highest paid.
Gotcha.
Right, but to make myself clear, and I know Ryan can't hear me, but besides the quarterback, and those are the two other highest paid positions in the team.
Yeah.
Right? The left tackle and the cornerback, right?
Absolutely.
Isn't that the case?
Absolutely.
Yes, and they're well paid for a reason. Guys, let's talk about the Bills-Ravens game. The Bills, again, I'm going to go back to the Bills because that, for me, is the most exciting team in the game. Now, and that's because of the quarterback. Let's face the facts on that one. He is so thrilling to watch. He is so talented to watch, right? Josh Allen. Yes. But let's talk about that game against the Ravens, because a lot of people would say that the quarterback of the Ravens is playing his best season so far. The people pay close attention to this, that even he was playing, now it's early in the season, but even than what he was playing when he won the MVP of the league. So what do you think of yesterday, Vince?
Well, Ryan, we're talking about the Bills and the Ravens game, and we're talking about first of all Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's putting up big numbers. Okay, he's a runner. He's throwing the ball well. Luckily, he's got his tight end in position to make all those catches. There's a great continuity between those two. I think that this team without Lamar Jackson, Liz, is just not a team. It will not be able to function at that same level. And that goes with any great quarterback that's out there. And Josh Allen brings to the table what Lamar Jackson does for his team. And I just think that every situation that can arise during a game, you have to, if you're not prepared for it, you have to have instincts that will be able to cover for you. In that instance, they had a position to go ahead late in the game, the Ravens did, by 3 points. They elected to go for it on fourth down on the 4-yard line. And Lamar Jackson was in the shotgun, and he shifted his back, who was a lone set back, he shifted him in the slot to the left. You could see, if you're a quarterback, you look at, when you make a movement, you look at the defense to see how they react to the movement that you do on offense. You could literally see there's confusion between the linebacker and the safety. They didn't really know how to adjust for the play. What we have in the NFL, and maybe most levels of football, is you have a fire call. Fire call is everybody freezes. When there's an uncovered player that looks like he's able to catch the ball and run for it, you just say fire, fire. The quarterback, the center snaps the ball. You throw the ball to the uncovered receiver. It would have been a great opportunity for them to pick up an easy touchdown. He elected not to do that. He dropped back, rolled around, threw it in the end zone, desperation because it was fourth down, and was picked off, and it was intercepted. So I think that was the turning point of the game. The game went in overtime, and the Bills win it. So it's just little instances can make a big difference in the game. That's why I saw that game.
Yeah, but don't you think, Vince, in a game that's played that closely, that you take the points?
Should have.
Don't you take the points?
More than likely, most people would have to agree with you, because it also has something to say about your defense. If you've got a 3-point lead versus they're tied, if they go down and they kick a field goal, well, they just tie us again. But if I've got a 3-point play, that forces them to either score a touchdown or we can win the football game. So, yeah, I agree.
I'm going for the win.
Well, you kicked the 3 points then.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, this is the winning side. You should go for the win. It's the winning side. All right, so here's the deal. I'm your quarterback because that's what I do on this Ion Cast, we call it. And Vince, you're just a couple days out from back surgery, so time for you to take a break. The game is over.
Absolutely.
You're out of it, and so are we, just to join with you. So tell Ryan Khalil, the man, the big man, the All-Pro, the USC legend.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank
Thank
you for
you.
having me.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for being
you,
here
Liz.
with us. And gentlemen, yes, I'm so happy we had you, Ryan. And Jackie and Vince, it's always fun to get together with you guys and talk a little bit of football. And for everyone else, follow us wherever you see us. Subscribe to us wherever you're watching. We're going to start doing some giveaways. We'll have a lot of Could Be Ferragamo wine. Support our sponsors. We support them as well. And remember to just keep joining us right here on Ion Sports Network, wherever you see us, winning side. Have a great one.